Welcome back. Episode 3 of 3 Sheets. In each episode, we pick 3 guitar tab books from my vast collection, and we use them as a jumping off point for having a discussion and maybe a little hootenanny where I play a little bit. I'm very excited about the 3 books we have picked today. Legendary, some of them, some legendary for different reasons, but I think you'll enjoy each choice we've made. I've been having fun making these episodes. As long as people watch them, I'll continue to make them. However, it is good practice for me in my burgeoning amateur film career, so I appreciate the opportunity. If you haven't subscribed to the channel on YouTube, hi for this is the channel. Please subscribe, like the video if you want, or comment, doesn't matter to me, but I really do appreciate if you subscribe. You'll get the episodes as they appear. Thank you. Book number 1, and this album just recently had its 25th anniversary of its release. Radiohead, The Bends. I heard this album for the first time on the airplane to go study abroad in London at the very end of the year 2000. Or actually, I guess it had to have been past New Year's at that point. 2001. Very early January. I actually didn't know a ton about Radiohead at that point. And this is right around when Kid A came out, so I was actually behind the curve. I was very deeply into classical music for a number of years and kind of avoided all rock for a while. So to come back into it and experience Radiohead was very special. This album blew my mind the first time I heard it. And from there, I actually listened to Kid A next, blew my mind, and then went to OK Computer. So it was a very rich experience being introduced to this band. We actually used to cover several of their songs in various bands in college, and this would be Nectar and Whiskey Richard. I know we covered Creep, which was always a banger. I know we covered I Might Be Wrong for a while, which was very forward thinking of us when I look back on it. It's kind of crazy we did that. We also covered High and Dry for a number of years. Anyway, super excited to make my way through this book. I don't even know where to start. I mean, the beginning we can start, but there's a lot of like effects happening. Planet Telex. The song The Bends is one of my favorite live because of how it kind of crescendos to an end. Hey, where do we go from here? The words are coming out all weird, where are you now? When I need you, alone on an airplane, falling asleep against the window pane, my blood all thicken. I need to wash myself again, to hide all the dirt and pain, 'cause I'd be scared. Who are my real friends? Have they all got the bends? Am I really sinking? My baby's got the bends. Oh no. One of the songs we used to cover, what I think is one of the best songs on this record, High and Dry. Jumps in a week, I bet you think that's pretty clever, don't you, boy? Flying on your motorcycle, walking all the ground beneath your drum. You kill yourself for recognition, kill yourself to never ever stop. You broke another mirror. You turned it into something you were not. Oh, don't leave me high. Don't leave me dry. Don't leave me high. Don't leave me dry. That's a great tune. Maybe not the best performance, but a good tune. And then it's not even fair that it's followed on the record by one of the greatest songs Radiohead ever wrote, Fake Plastic Trees. And this is always triumphant when they do it live. Last time we saw them live was summer of 2018, Madison Square Garden. They did the 4 nights there. But this song you may remember. The green plastic watering can for fake Chinese rubber plants and the fake plastic earth that she bought from a rubber man in a town full of rubber plants to get rid of itself. It wears her out. It wears her out. It wears her out. It wears her out. There's a song called Just, which I don't know that I've seen them play live. I don't know how often they do play it live. But this is a song with like 1,000,000 chords in it. Can't get the stink off. It's been hanging around for days. Comes like a comet, suck at you but not your friend. One day he'll get to you and teach you how to be a holy cow. You do it to yourself, you do. And that's what really hurts, is you do it to yourself, just you. You and no one else. Do it to yourself. There was a fan poll about what Radiohead's best song is, and the last song on the Bends, Street Spirit, Fade Out, was what was selected. Great tune, always haunting to hear live. I don't know if that's my favorite song, but it does have this kind of rascally guitar part that goes throughout the whole time. It's actually hard to play correctly for such a long period of time. So we'll see how good I do at it. Rows of houses all bearing down on me, and I can feel their blue hands. And fade out again. And fade So Radiohead would go on to make tons more amazing music. This actually seems kind of rudimentary compared to some of the crazier stuff they did later. But the band still has a huge place in my heart. Sorry I butchered every song I tried. Sheet 2, Mr. Big, Lean Into It. This book is pulled out for only one reason, and that is the song To Be With You. I have zero desire to listen to or make my way through any of these other songs. Mr. Big had a great guitar player, or maybe still does. I have no clue if they're even still active. They had Paul Gilbert on guitar, and he's the kind of guy, not world famous, but definitely guitar famous. And in the guitar magazines that were so popular in the 90s and most of the aughts, I mean, they still exist now in some form. Paul Gilbert's the guy you would see on the cover, even though he wasn't that important to the culture, but for guitar he was a total shredder back in the shredder days. He's always received love from that kind of press. This band also had Billy Sheehan. Billy Sheehan was like the bass version of that. He's the kind of player that's like playing way too much, and it's really only for other bass players to really enjoy. Your general public isn't going to enjoy that kind of playing, the bass jock kind of stuff. So I guess Mr. Big was somewhat of a supergroup, and they did have a hit, a big hit, that you'll still hear at karaoke all the time, which is To Be With You. Hold on, little girl, show me what he's done to you. Stand up, little girl, a broken heart can't be that bad when it's through, it's through. Fate the twist of both of you, so come on baby, come on over, let me be the one to hold. I'm the one who wants to be with you. Deep inside I hope you feel it too. Waited on her line, oh, waited on her line, just to be the next to be with you. Build up your confidence so you can be on top for once. Wake up, who cares about little boys that talk too much? I've seen it all go down. The flame of love was all rained out. So come on baby, come on over, let me be the one to hold. Why be alone? We can be together, baby. You can make my love worthwhile. I can make you come on, baby, come on over. Let me be the one to show. I'm the one who wants to be with you. Deep inside, I hope you feel it too. Waited on a line, oh, waited just to be the next to be with you. I'm the one who wants to be. Deep inside, I hope you feel it too. Waited on a line, waited on a line, just to be the next to be with you. Just to be the next to be with you. A classic. In college, I could put that whole thing without even trying. Sheet number 3 is important to me, one of my favorite artists, and this book is the best of Iron and Wine. Iron and Wine really came into my consciousness, I think, in 2004, 2005. An amazing album, Our Endless Numbered Days. I'll have to look up when that album was actually released. But Iron and Wine was maybe one of the first transcendent concerts I saw in New York. I think it was 2008 at Terminal 5. The first 4 songs were just Sam Beam, who is Iron and Wine, and his sister sang harmony for acoustic tunes, and I literally lost my mind at how amazing it was. I saw Iron and Wine probably every time they rolled through New York for the next 5 years. I don't know if Sam Beam got tired of the acoustic shtick, but it seemed like every time he played, he'd have more people with him, and so the arrangements would change a little bit. One time I saw him, it was like every acoustic tune had a 3-part harmony vocal background, and it wasn't kind of like this ethereal thing, it was more like this doo-wop, and it was kind of very strange. Played Radio City in 2011. I thought it was too big for them. They work better in a smaller, more intimate space. And I think with the gigantic Radio City Music Hall, it made them feel like they had to really blow out their arrangements. And some of it just didn't work for me totally. I've also seen Iron and Wine, again at Terminal 5, with a full band where every tune was kind of rearranged into being kind of like 70s soul or funk. Very strange. Sam Beam was also very high that entire performance. It's been an interesting ride with Iron and Wine because it's been 15 years now I've kind of been following the band, and nothing's really ever captured the way I felt in those first 3 to 5 years. I actually saw Iron and Wine play with Calexico last summer at Prospect Park Bandshell. That was one of the free shows, so there's probably about 9,000 people in attendance. While it was great to see them, they have this nonchalantness about them to where the show never feels very big. I'll probably keep following them around, and when they come to town, it doesn't hurt me to go see them because there's always a couple tunes that really still blow my mind. This book is actually marked easy guitar because it's only strumming and finger picking, but I've actually found that it's actually pretty hard in some of these tunes. So the song from Twilight, which everybody knows, this is on Capo 3.
I was a quick, wet bird diving too deep for coins. All of the street light, eyes wide on my plastic toys. Then when the cops closed the fair, I got my long baby hair and stole me a dog-eared map. It called for you everywhere. Have I found you? Flightless bird, jealous, weeping. Oh, lost you. American mouth, big pill, looming. Now I'm a.
One of my favorites is from Our Endless Numbered Days, which is an amazing album if you've never heard it, is Naked As We Came. So that does the double drop D, and it does Capo 2. And this book is marked easy, but this is really kind of hard to keep going. I think this might have been in Garden State. I remember when MySpace first got hot, a bunch of people's favorite album or favorite music was all the stuff from Garden State, which I thought was a terrible movie. But it was kind of emblematic of people labeling themselves as like hipsters. There was definitely some Iron and Wine stuff in that soundtrack. But what's hard about this finger picking is like then having to sing over this is like so hard. I mean, I'll try a little bit. I love this acoustic part.
She says, wake up, what's no use pretending, I'll keep singing. Birds are leaving over autumn's ending. One of us will die inside these arms, arms wide open. Naked as we came, one will spread our ashes round the yard. She said, if I leave before you, darling,
It's a beautiful song. Morbid. Very beautiful. So that Terminal 5 show I originally saw in 2008, the song that blew me away the most was Resurrection Fern. I really never heard anything like it live, the way he did it, and I'm going to butcher it now.
In our days, we will live like our ghosts will. Pitching glass and corn-fed cows and folding clothes. Like suburban boys across the road, we'll keep every grandma's gun and the black bear claws that took her dog. And we'll undress beside the ashes of the fire, both on tender bellies, wound and pale and wire. All the more a pair of underwater pearls than the oak tree and its resurrection fun.
Yeah, it's hard to play. His stuff's so understated. His voice is so good. The voice kind of drives it. And then obviously he knows the words, so he's not having to like try to do two things at once. But Resurrection Fern is... Imagine like a pin drop silence in Terminal 5 when he was playing this. Everybody's jaws were on the floor. It was so insane. And then his sister is really doing this understated kind of harmony behind the whole thing. It's a sight to behold. And he's just like... You know, such an ethereal voice live. I love seeing him live. Love seeing these tunes live. So that's the best of Iron and Wine. So that's it for today. That's episode 3 of 3 Sheets. If you stuck around the song, I appreciate it. I was not playing very well today, so I appreciate you humoring me and maybe having some fun experiencing some music. We will see you next time.